How's it going, everyone? I've got another Black Ops 2 class setup for you today, and I'm going to start this one with a question. When was the last time you saw someone use the grenade launcher in Black Ops 2? I personally haven't seen a single person use it in game, but I'm sure we can all cast our minds back to Modern Warfare 2 and remember the nightmare that was the Noob Tube. The developers learnt their mistakes and nerfed the grenade launcher into Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3. Both games had much weaker explosive blasts, as well as much less range on the grenade launcher. Going into Black Ops 2, the grenade launcher has been drastically nerfed even more, and you can actually get better damage and range just from a plain old hand-thrown grenade, as opposed to the undermounted launcher. So with all that in mind, I think it's now time to officially rename the Noob Tube to the Pro Pipe. The days of blindly being able to send these things out across the map and manage to get a nuke are definitely over. Nowadays you really need to be a skilled player to get a kill with a grenade launcher, so while using a Noob Tube in-game does leave you feeling a little bit dirty, it's not quite as overpowered as what you might think. So the class I've put together today is called Grenadier, with it being themed around that grenade launcher and grenades or explosives in general. By Grenadier I mean the designated Grenadier as part of a US Army fire team, as opposed to Grenadier Guard regiments from various military forces around the world. I'm sure we're also familiar with those Grenadier default classes that we always get in Call of Duty. It's as if the devs try and get new players to use the Noob Tube by giving them a default class with a grenade launcher. But let's get started with this loadout and take a look at the weapons and equipment we're going to use for this Grenadier setup. The whole idea is to use hand-thrown grenades, launched grenades and rocket-propelled grenades against the enemy. So in order to use the grenade launcher we're going to need to choose an assault rifle. The one assault rifle people most complain about in-game is that FAL, although it's more related to FAL plus select fire. But I thought with this loadout we can give them something else to complain about and equip the grenade launcher to our FAL. Using that select fire attachment plus the grenade launcher isn't permitted in-game, so instead we'll go with that millimeter scanner, which is going to help us use that grenade launcher in a more legit way, and that we can spot campers behind walls and use that grenade launcher to blow them out of their holes. For the secondary weapon we'll go with the RPG, with it essentially being a rocket-propelled grenade, but when using both the grenade launcher and the RPG against infantry, you're best off keeping them as secondary weapons and only using them to secure a kill if you manage to tag an enemy but not fully deplete his health. In recent Call of Duty's explosives don't do half as much damage, plus we've got the flak jacket perk which is quite prominent in game. Now you might notice we're reuniting the old friends Danger Close plus the grenade launcher, but don't worry, these two items don't form such a deadly combination as they did in Modern Warfare 2. Danger Close now just allows us to equip 2 lethal grenades, so for this setup we'll go with 2 normal frag grenades. So that's a fair bit of explosives firepower that we've got so far. We've got 2 grenades from the grenade launcher, 2 rockets in the RPG, as well as those 2 hand grenades which we can toss towards objectives, as well as blow campers out of their holes by throwing them through windows. So let's move on and take a look at some perks which are going to help us perform as a Grenadier in game. When playing around with such dangerous toys you're going to want to use the flak jacket so you don't accidentally blow yourself up. It's always fun firing an RPG towards someone's head, but you don't want to be too close that it ends up taking you out as well, so this is where that flak jacket perk is going to come in to reduce that explosives damage and prevent those unwanted accidents. To both make it quicker to switch to that RPG as well as throw out those grenades, we'll use the fast hands perk. Both switching to a heavy launcher and throwing out those grenades are naturally slow actions, so this fast hands perk is really going to help us out. And for perk number 3 we'll go with dexterity for that faster recovery from sprinting. Without any assistance to aiming faster with the FAL, it's going to be quite hard even using that weapon as a rifle. Plus the grenade launcher and the RPG are naturally slow weapons to fire, so that dexterity perk is going to make it easier to stop sprinting and fire out those grenades that tad bit faster. So to continue the theme of this setup, let's take a look at some score streak rewards which are still based on grenades and rockets. The natural fit for a Grenadier class is that War Machine reward. You only get a maximum of 2 grenades with your grenade launcher, each of which has to reload at a painfully slow rate. With that War Machine you've got 6 to spam out towards the bad guys, so even with that reduced explosives damage it makes it easier to secure a kill, seeing as you can continuously pound them to death with grenades. Another score streak reward which has some relation to explosives is that AGR. As well as that mounted machine gun we've got those rocket pods which can send out explosives towards the bad guys. Then the final score streak reward which kind of continues the theme is the Loadstar. We kind of strain away from grenades slightly with the Loadstar having those laser guided rockets, but at the end of the day it's still an explosive weapon and it's about as close as we can get for a Grenadier setup. So give this setup a try and have some fun with those noob tubes, pro pipes. Even if you've been totally against the grenade launcher from day one like me, it's still worth giving this setup a try just to have some fun and see how bad those grenade launchers actually are nowadays. There's no way players can use them as a primary weapon like they did in the old days, which is probably why we don't see them used much anymore. The best use for them nowadays is to blow campers out of their hole, but with the low explosives damage you still need to tag them with some rifle shots, so this kind of makes the C4 a better choice overall. But if you do manage to punish some campers, or if you just enjoyed my video, I'd really love a thumbs up just to help spread the word and give the video more widespread exposure. If grenade launchers aren't quite your thing, you can always check out the playlist link just to make sure you've not missed any of the previous episodes. And if you're new to this series, you can subscribe for plenty more of these Black Ops 2 class setups. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.